Hey guys, welcome to Amy's Autopsy Report. My name's Amy. This is uh, episode 2 of Amy's Christmas of Horrors. And episode 2, I watched this Mrs. Claus. Picture of that cover there. Pretty cool cover. This is from Wild Eye Releasing. Wild Eye Releasing is pretty cool. They give a lot of first-time directors a chance, and they do a lot of distribution for first-time directors or newer directors. So I saw this. I definitely wanted to check it out. Holiday slasher. Generally, you can't go wrong. So reviewing today, Mrs. Claus. This is directed by Troy Escamilla and stars Brinks Stevens, who you would know from Slumber Party Massacre and Nightmare Sisters and tons of other movies, and Helen Udy, who you'd know from My Bloody Valentine. So the basic plot of this movie is that a murder-suicide occurs at a sorority house. A pledge is being brutally hazed, and the pledge kills the head of the sorority who's doing all of the hazing, and then kills herself. So we then fast forward a couple of years later, where the sister of the sorority girl that was murdered moves into the sorority house and joins that sorority as this way to sort of honor her sister. So that's the basic plot of the movie. As soon as, of course, they have their Christmas party, and as soon as that starts happening, people start getting picked off. So let's get into the things I liked about this movie. I enjoyed the fact that this was not a Santa Claus killer, but a Mrs. Claus killer. I thought, it's a little bit different. Let's try it out. I liked that. I liked the mask. The person who it was a woman who did the makeup special effects. I believe her name's not on the back here, but it was Heather something. She did a really good job with the practical effects in this movie. This movie had some good kills. It was good and gory. You saw a lot of blood. You saw the actual kills. They were on-screen kills. And yeah, the kills were good. This movie had some pretty good atmosphere to it. There was a lot of Christmas decorations out. The music was pretty good also. You could see that they had done their best to incorporate some kind of sort of Christmas music that had been messed with a little bit, with slowing it down and speeding it up and things like that. That was good. Like I said, the house was decorated real well. It reminded you of Christmas. I'm pretty sure this was not filmed in a location where it's actually cold, though, just because, or it was not filmed at Christmas time. It was either filmed like at a different time of the year or something. So let's get into the things I didn't like about this movie. This movie had several slow parts to it. The acting was not good. The only two actors that were good was Brinks Stevens and Helen Udy, which of course they've been around for a long time. The acting was pretty bad. It was not campy funny like I felt like it could have been easily. There were a lot of pacing problems. There were also a lot of lighting problems. There were times when it looked like they used no lighting at all. And even when you film things in a dark area or like a night scene or whatever, you still utilize lighting. And there were some scenes in this movie, it didn't look like they utilized lighting, and it was very dark. And then there were other times where it was just excessively bright. So there were definitely lighting problems, and sometimes the music was really weird. Like, it was really good in the suspenseful parts and when they used the Christmas music and stuff like that. But it's like it constantly had this underlying music that reminded me of something from Lifetime or the Hallmark Channel. It was just very odd, and it didn't fit in. The characters didn't really have a whole lot going for them. They all looked way too old to be college kids, first of all. That's always one of my number one complaints about horror films is nobody's ever using like people that are like the age they should be. And let's see, what else was a problem? The pace, there should have been more kills. I feel like they could have really done more kills. It would have broke up some of the boring party scenes. And the party scenes were, there was no music playing at this party. Nobody looked like they were having any fun. It was just there were some sections that were just very boring. And it also was kind of weird how the girl moved into the sorority house, the same sorority house where her sister was murdered. And it just kind of like was all over the place. This movie had a pretty good ending, though. I was actually surprised. I did like the ending. I think that a lot of my viewers are probably not going to like this too much. I think that it just fell a little short with the number of kills. But again, the kills they did do were good. And they were good on-screen kills. There was another part that, like, you could tell the knife prop they were using was plastic. Like, they didn't paint it. It wasn't shiny and buffed enough to make it look like actual metal. Or they should have dulled a real knife down and used that instead. But Zachary Haith, if you're watching, stay away from this one. I don't want to let you down again, man, but this one is not good. I enjoyed what I could out of it. I didn't think it was terrible. I'm glad I watched it. I enjoyed the kills and the on-screen blood. I thought that stuff was really good and worth it to watch for me, and the ending was good. I'm going to give this one a 2.5 out of 5. I say watch this one at your own risk. That's going to do it for this video, guys. If you like these videos, give me a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at Amy's Autopsy Report, and I will catch you guys in the next one.